Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Nightly Grind. Tonight is December 30th, 2016, the last show of the year. Next time we see you will be next year. So we have very few things to discuss tonight. We will be discussing a little bit of a wrap-up, I guess, of the year, discuss our favorite games at the end. But to start things off, there was some information gleaned this week from somebody that was looking at the developer builds of Windows 10, and they believe that there's going to be a, quote, game mode coming out for Windows 10. Not much is currently known about it, just because of the way that it was sort of found. They saw a section of the update that had this title that looked like it was going to be a game mode.
It was a DLL file.
Right. So
they're going back to a fucking window gaming for Windows bullshit.
No, I think the idea is that it'll prioritize resources. That's what people. That's sort of what people's guess is right now.
As of right now, Microsoft has nothing to say about it.
Right. So I'm assuming it's probably they're in testing phases right now or something along those lines. But it's kind of nice to see them moving in that direction. Although Windows 10 has been fairly good overall for games anyways, because it's fairly low resources to begin with. But maybe for like laptops and things like that, it'll help prioritize better. Certainly doesn't matter on most of our PCs, I don't think.
No, like I said, I think top-end gaming PCs just have maximized the RAM just so,
there's enough there in case. But most people are way more than they need.
Or anything.
Yeah, most people have way more than they need.
I think I have 32 in here, if I remember correct.
I have 32.
Yeah, then I have 32.
It's a silly amount.
No, it's not.
It really is. It really is a silly amount.
All right.
Make my system look. Big numbers make people scared.
Big numbers make people scared. Okay, well, I'm sure there's a
That's
fear.
an interesting theory.
It's called, but yeah.
That's an interesting theory. I don't know how it plays out in reality.
I don't know. That's overrated.
But that's sort of the news, is that there may be a game mode coming. We don't know what it is, but we can assume it's probably a prioritization of resources. But again, I think it's a good move by Microsoft to show, hey, since we're the main platform for gaming, that maybe we should try and do some things for those people that use our platform for gaming. But
the majority of the gaming market.
Yeah, exactly.
Because let's face it, if you're gaming, your chances are you're gaming on PC.
Yeah, there's a tiny fraction that are doing it on other things.
Yeah.
Steambox is not, taking over anytime soon.
No way they're not taking over anytime soon. I mean, yeah, I would say the next closest would be Linux, even over Mac, because Mac, let's face it, you're not really gaming on a Mac.
Although Steam and Valve have sort of opened up Mac a little more than they were. They've been adding things here and there, but it's like Portal 2 and things like that they're not exactly selling you on buying a Mac to play games on or anything like that.
God, no, they're not.
I think Left 4 Dead, stuff like that is on there now. Apparently tomorrow marks the 20th anniversary of the original Diablo game. And to pay homage to that, the Blizzard is kicking off a series of in-game events across multiple games. Here's the Storm, things like that. Ones that we may be interested. Diablo 3 is having a reimagined version of the original game's Cathedral map. Overwatch is having in-game
map, as it were, I believe.
What was that?
The very first map for Diablo, I believe, was
okay. I never played the original Diablo. I played Diablo 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Never played the original. It wasn't really my thing. Overwatch is having in-game sprays and player icons. Nothing too exciting there. And World of Warcraft is having new items that are being added in, which sort of hints towards there being a special event. But there's no real info out there on it yet. They've kept it super under wraps. But the people think that there's going to be some sort of an event, like a holiday event, even though it's not really a holiday. It's a Blizzard holiday, I guess. But that's about it. So a few things here and there in games. Hearthstone has something as well, and Here's the Storm is something. But it's a bunch of little things, nothing too crazy. So that's mildly exciting, I guess. Moving on. with the wrapping up of Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red is now fully focused on Cyberpunk 2077. Their latest job openings hint that there will be vehicles and possibly flying vehicles in the game. And we saw the trailer for what's it called last week?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Thank you. So it's a good time to be a Cyberpunk fan.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
With that coming out next year and Cyberpunk 2077 coming out sometime in the near future, I would assume.
Well, the whole future thing is coming.
The whole what?
Never as fast as it's supposed to be, but
Yeah.
The what is coming?
future.
Future.
Oh, the future's coming.
I'm interested in that. It's nice to see they got full attention being played to the actual 2077 now, which is awesome, which means hopefully we'll see it sometime in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I'll be throwing money at. So.
Yeah, and apparently they were opening up another of their development areas. They're expanding it significantly. I forget where it was. Somewhere in Poland, obviously, because that's where they're centrally located. But it wasn't their Warsaw branch. It was another branch somewhere else that they were going to be, it seems like, opening up significantly. So they're going to be devoting a serious amount of resources, it looks like, into the game to get it going. But they've proven themselves as a serious production company or development
They know
company.
what they're doing when they put their mind to it. That's why I mean, it's if there's ever if there's very few game companies out there that you like can go, if I put money into this, is it worth my investment? Especially these days, I would say CD Projekt Red is one of those where, without a doubt, you can say if I'm dropping $60 into a game, you're going to get every penny's worth. I mean, just look at what they've done with The Witcher 3. The amount of free DLC for that game is mind-boggling. And in all reality, I think one of the jokes with them is that they don't do DLC; they do completely new games. It's the DLC they release is what other companies would release as a solo, entity. So it's well worth every. I mean, like I said, they got my dollar. I'll buy it in a heartbeat. So, and I'm still looking forward to it just for the fact of all the stuff they're talking about adding to the game with I think they want multiplayer. They're talking about having not just a big city, but a massive, massive city. So it definitely looks awesome.
Yeah. No, it looks like it's going to be pretty good. Well, we watched that a while ago now. But it looks like it's going to be a good game for sure. So, has anybody got anything recently on the Steam sale? It's going to continue for, another week or so?
I don't know how long is it going to last.
I don't know. It's usually 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Usually, I'm assuming it's going to end on Tuesday or Wednesday this coming week.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie,
I haven't
the
looked
sales
into
are
it.
actually pretty nice this time around.
There's been some good things on there.
There's been some decent stuff. So the stuff's really, really dropped dramatically. Other stuff is only $5 cheaper. It's not really
Yeah.
Well, it's not even just that. It's just the fact that we've seen some of the past sales and we've talked about them on how poor they are, how poorly they're just all indie games. There's nothing big title, no AAAs, no AAs, just nothing. And this time around, they actually have some big name titles that are not just 10% off.
Yeah, Planet Coaster just came out and it was 15% off, which I thought was a great deal. And it came out weeks before, essentially, what's it called? The Steam sale started.
Well, they've done that with a few titles this year. I mean, you picked up the new Doom for what, $20, 3 weeks after its release or whatnot.
Last year, yeah. Or it was over summer sale. I think it was summer sale, I guess.
I believe it was the
Yeah.
summer sale. So
It was significantly cheaper.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I picked up a few games. I picked up that soccer game, which is definitely fun. The game we're going to be playing after this, we just picked up. That looks like it's going to be entertaining. You picked up a bunch, didn't you, Ben? But I think you bought a lot for Christmas.
I bought stuff. Yeah, we got Magicka 2 for a couple of people.
That's the game, yeah.
I got my brother that bridge building game. What's that one called?
Polybridge.
Polybridge. Yeah, I got him that. He picked up Portal 2. He just built a PC, gaming PC, and he got Portal 2, and he was messaging me about it, talking about how it was weird he was carrying around a potato. And I was like, I think you mean potatoes, because it's, Potato OS.
Oh,
You're
God.
such a fucking
And
nerd.
that's exactly what he said. But that's a great game. He was raving about it. I was like, yeah, that's a classic. That's an excellent game.
It's a must-have basically. When you get
Yeah.
Steam, you kind of need a Portal game.
Yeah, I don't know how much it is right now. I'm sure it's on sale. They always put that stuff on sale.
It's
I got
probably
it.
under $10. I would
I
assume.
got it like I think I got it like back in the day when they did the potato sack. If you guys remember what that was.
I got the original Portal in the orange box. Portal 2 is $3.99.
Yeah.
It's originally $19.99. If you do not have Portal 2, I would strongly suggest buying it for $4. I mean, you're really not going to. You cannot really go wrong.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also worth just to have fun listening to the J.K. Simmons bits because
Yeah.
he does such a fantastic job as Cave
When
Johnson.
life gives you lemons.
When life gives
Give
you
it back.
lemons,
Give life the lemons back.
take the lemons and throw them back and say, "I don't want your damn lemons."
Make life rue the day. Gave me lemons. What's the character's name? Cave Johnson. Gave Cave Johnson lemons. I love that character. That alone is worth playing through the
Even
game.
if you don't play the game and you just want to hear something that'll make you laugh your ass off, even
Yeah.
if you don't know what the hell's going on, because let's face it, most of the time in Portal, you're really never really 100% sure what's going on anyway. Go to YouTube and find the whole Cave Johnson bit where it basically takes the entire everything he says in the entire game and puts it into one like hour-long fucking. Just listen to that, you will love it because he's so fucking good at Cave Johnson.
At my first PAX East convention, we went to one of the booths and they had plush lemon grenades that you could actually pull the cord and it just starts ticking down.
Oh God.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
I got a companion cube, of course. You know.
I still wish I picked up the machine gun turret.
Hmm.
They had their
They
special.
never sold out of those. Every time we walked to a booth,
Yeah.
they were sold out. I got a space core.
Oh God.
Sadly, it did not have a voice box, but I could fix that.
So the Steam sale continues. that's the wrap up for that. And before we go into the trailer that we have this week, we're going to run down our personal favorite game of the year and our most underrated game of the year. And let me just throw out a few games that came out this year for people who may not be aware of what came out this year. Overwatch, Dark Souls 3, Battlefield 1, Doom, Titanfall 2, Dishonored 2, Final Fantasy 15, The Witness, The Division, Firewatch, Stardew Valley, Pokemon Go, and WoW Legion, which is an
World of Final
expansion.
Fantasy.
Huh?
World of Final Fantasy.
World of Final Fantasy. So your personal favorite game of the year?
No.
Anybody? Go around the room.
Oh, you're asking everyone now. Okay.
Yeah. What's your personal favorite game of the year?
I really, really like Battlefield, but I'm gonna give it to Overwatch.
Yeah, I think so too.
Probably.
Really?
Yeah, this is probably my favorite game of the year.
It was as close to a tie as you can get. But there's a couple things I don't like about Battlefield. We've discussed them several times. And Overwatch was, until they had this
Super polished.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
out of the box. It was good to go.
Yeah.
So, I really, really enjoy that game.
I think they hit it out of the park with Overwatch.
Still. So,
Yeah, and they're still delivering to today.
yeah.
Personal favorite for 2016 as of right now, for me, I would have to go with Pokemon Sun and Moon. It's not on that list, but I solely put in already over 20 hours and I'm still enjoying it. They did a really nice job on the game. And I that's something good, or that's something new, because I usually don't sit down and play games in long periods of time, or long journeys, whatever you want to call it. God damn it.
Yeah.
I just mentality of me sitting down and playing an RPG or something. It's either I'm gonna play it for a whole day, or I'm gonna sit down and play for 30 minutes, get sidetracked, and play League of Legends or World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So if I would say Pokemon did a good job this time. Nintendo did a good one.
Yeah, I heard they essentially reinvented the game enough to where it's fresh and new,
And it's
and not the
challenging.
same game they made 20 years ago or whatever.
And it's also challenging. They give more challenge to it, which is nice. That's my personal favorite. So
Anybody else?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna agree with Torn. I'm gonna go 2 honorable mentions here. First one, I'm gonna go Torn. Battlefield, definitely, because they really kind of brought back the feel that Battlefield used to have in the game. And just like Torn, I'm not going to go in details, but I mean, it is a very, very good game on its own. It has issues, but it is a very, very good game on its own. I'm going to give another one to Warcraft because they've really done a good job with this expansion.
Mhm.
It's brought back a lot of the classic feel that, you know, players like me that's been playing it since its inception can really get back into it and enjoy it. But I'm going to go off the wall here. I'm going to go Titanfall 2. Just
That's legit.
because I think it's going to get buried underneath the fact that, you know, there's so many different FPSs that got released.
Mhm.
When you compare it to there's really not calling games FPS anymore is kind of difficult because it's not really they really break down in different type categories. Battlefield is it's an FPS, but it's its own type of FPS, and Titanfall is definitely in the category of like a Call of Duty game, and Call of Duty failed miserably.
well, it's basically the people that created the original Call of Duty and everything.
Yeah, but I have to admit I've had an ungodly fun time playing Titanfall 2. And I've already suggested that Bone should pick it up to and everybody else that likes it should pick it up because
It's still on sale, guys.
yeah, right now it's like all of I think $20 or
We'll
something.
see. The fact that it got buried is going to work out for me because the price is going to drop rather quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean with the fact it's going to have free DLC, they've already pretty much said that,
Mhm.
and the game's actually really really good. The combat is extremely smooth. It's everything you want in a Twitch kind of Call of Duty type shooter. I mean, realistically, just that more action packed, less thinky. One person can kind of go Rambo and not really have an issue. The mech play is fantastic. I mean, it really is a damn good game, and it's kind of sad that it's kind of fallen under the radar. But I think it's one of those games where in 6 months it's still going to be legitimate because of the free DLC as long as they continue to support it. Now, if they drop support, then God only knows. But it's one I think that will outlive it may have a slow start or be like hit it, but I think it's going to be one that shines better over the next few months. Benthans, why are you going blurry?
I got really blurry.
I clicked the button.
Would you? I mean, I wouldn't. I don't. We didn't get to most underrated game, but I would call it on the verge of being underrated. Although it got great ratings, so it's hard to start.
I was saving Titanfall 2 as an underrated game because EA fucked up and pushed it out right when Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty launched at the same time. Why they thought that was a good idea, don't know.
But like I said, me and Bone talked about this a lot back at that point, and I still think the reason they did it is that they don't look at it as a competitor to Battlefield 1, because the type of people that really want to play Battlefield 1 aren't the type of people that want to play Titanfall, and vice versa. It's like there's a guy at work that I talk about Battlefield 1 a lot, and he basically he hates Battlefield games because the maps are so big. He wants that more tight, really small, like claustrophobic map.
And gigantic vehicles that fly from the sky and crush you.
Glitch and everything. But I mean, so it's like I said, it's definitely a genre-based game, and I think if you were to take Battlefield kind of stands alone. There's really nothing out there that really matches what it does. Vehicle-based, massive maps, huge things. It's like more of a Call of Duty competition, and I still think it's way better than Call of Duty. Saul, what's your games of the year? You're
Can't
muted.
hear you.
Nope.
No. Nope.
Ah.
Nope.
No. Is that a cat or a dog?
That's a cat.
Oh, wait, it's just kind of like, what the fuck is that in the background?
She broke her stuff here.
She's
Just
getting
yell
pissed.
over the shadow.
All right.
She can hear us. You can type it.
She's like, oh my god. Oh. Is she going over to Shadow?
Yeah, she's
Probably.
going to my room more than likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
My games of the year, I put an honorable mention out to Maya, of course, but it's still in early access. And then I would have to give it to Don't Starve Together. Because they were released this year, they've done a lot of work with it, and it's fantastic. They've done a lot to update it and stuff.
It's the game you can't get your friends to play with you.
And she's gone.
All your 3 friends.
Don't Starve Together, you can have more than 4 people, right?
If it's modded, I think.
Oh yeah, you can have more than that.
Hi, Saul.
I don't know. There was something about Don't Starve Together that it didn't catch me. I enjoyed it the first few times we played it, but then if I played it too long, it just I don't know if it was maybe the atmosphere or the music, but
I think it's for me. I think it's persistence. With other survival,
Go ahead.
to me, the Don't Starve I like it, but it got to the point where it's like 2 things about the game that pissed me off. First off, the persistence. I don't mind dying and losing everything. That's fine. But what sucks is that every time you play over, it's like you start right back at 0.
Mhm.
And it gets really stupid when you die for something stupid, and then your new game you have to start right back from 0. I don't, like I said, the rogue doesn't bother me, but it would be nice if it was persistent. We still can't hear you.
how about your laptop's mic instead?
Yeah, that would be a decent idea.
You want to go to most underrated?
The thing is, the second thing that bothers me about
Okay.
that game is when you're playing with other people. Okay, it's a lot of fun.
Which game are we talking about now?
Don't Starve.
Don't
Together.
Starve Together.
I didn't know we're still on that one, so.
Mhm.
The thing that sucks about it is when you have somebody that dies, and then everybody gets fucked. It literally is a domino effect. It's like everybody's going to die of insanity.
And they go and haunt everything.
Yeah, and that's just oh god, that sucks.
Still
It's
half the fun.
It is fun. I'll give you
It's
that.
like everybody could be doing really, really well, and then Torn goes off and gets killed by something. And it's
Why is it always torn?
Why is it always me?
and then it's like just Torn, sit there. We're gonna try to make you hard, and then Torn gets lost, and he can't find his way back to base, and we're all dying now because we're all going insane, and it's just that's the first person that came that so.
This is a pack of fabricated lies.
I can't say yes or no to any of this because I haven't played with you guys and I don't own the game and I just don't care to own it. So
What?
You at least have to try it.
maybe when it's a free weekend,
Maybe. So
Steam
alright,
does
so
that sometimes.
which games of the year?
Most underrated or most underplayed or underrepresented, something along those lines.
I still think Titanfall 2 was underrated.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it was underrated because it got rated well. It just hasn't been purchased well.
Well, it also not a lot of people looked at it because
Is that the same thing though? I mean, it's,
Underrepresented, probably. It got it got great ratings. People got 9s and 10s out of 10. People just ignored the fact that it was getting good ratings, I think, and because they had
Well, a
purchased
game
other
can get good
things or
ratings,
whatever.
but still be underrated because only news people saw it, but no one else really cared for it because they were more caught on to Call of Duty or Battlefield 1.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I think it was a great game. Is a great game. I enjoy it. I like playing with friends. I own most of my matches, but it's still a fun game to play.
you suck.
No, the people I play with suck. We all
But you
know.
haven't played with me, so I ain't got that problem.
Yeah, because you didn't fucking invite me yet. It's hard to join your game when you're not on my friends list.
Ouch.
I'm innocent.
Big time ouch.
Bullshit.
You're my
Anybody?
friends now, so shut up.
Bullshit. You are not innocent.
Anybody else?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Nope.
Can you hear me
For
now?
me, I know it's like beating a dead horse. For me, it really is Pokemon Go. It's most underrated. I mean,
Pikachu with the Santa hat.
yes.
I had one and it didn't. He ran away after the first try. I tried to catch him. I was so
I
pissed.
found 6 of them and only caught 2.
The first day, the first week it came out, you saw so many people who hadn't been out of their parents' basements in 18 years. And it was amazing, and it was so much fun. We actually set up a lure at a gazebo, and there were like 30 people who showed up, and we met like 30 new random people that day that were all just chilling out playing Pokemon. It was fantastic. So I would really have to say Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
When
I mean,
it first
and
came
like
out, Miles Day.
everybody and literally their mom was playing the game.
Yeah.
Everyone and their mom is still playing the game.
Well, I think they lost a lot of
There were
people.
families everywhere walking
Yeah.
around. I mean, it's just. And
When I
to
went-
see as many people fall off as they did, it's just underrated.
When I went back to back to the East Coast and family on Christmas Day, we went out walking to see if we could find a Santa Pikachu, and we went to the one park that has like 8 Pokestops, but the park is really small, so you do one lap and you can do the next lap and grab all the stops again.
Mhm.
So we're walking around, and the park, I wouldn't say it wasn't packed, but everyone that was there walking was playing Pokemon Go. So it's still actually played a lot more than people think, I think. Like
In
they say, like,
certain
oh,
areas,
in drop-off, there's a drop-off. Yeah, there was a drop-off, but
there's a park by me where the first few weeks, I mean, there were 100 people down there playing Pokemon, and I went down there a couple weeks ago, and it was dead. There was nobody there anymore. So, I mean, a lot of people fell off pretty hardcore.
Mhm.
well, there's reasons for that, but at the same time, you can't blame them completely. They're a small group. But no, I do agree that it is underrated to a sense.
They're doing a lot with it still. That it doesn't get the credit it deserves.
And they're pulling people back because of the special events that they do.
And they've been constantly updating.
Yes.
Like we said a couple weeks ago about the weekly experience bonuses and for doing it every day, and like that really got me into doing it every single day because I was like, well, you know what? And I've noticed the amount of different things I'm seeing. It's not just Weedles and things like that. There's a variety of things now that I'm seeing. I've seen I forget what it's called, the one that's North American only, the
Tauros.
Tauros. I've seen them all over the place all of a sudden. So they've definitely been
They tweaked
adding.
the code.
They what?
They tweaked the code.
They tweaked the code for sure.
Well, they
Um,
changed there's certain nesting locations, and they change them every 2 to 3 weeks. So
And that pisses people
different
off.
Pokemon show up in different areas.
That actually pisses people off.
I know.
Because they can go to the same place every day and get a bunch of the same thing.
Well,
It
someone-
frustrated me because I went to a park that was like 30 minutes away. I'm like, okay, it's the weekend, I can go get this Vulpix, and all of a sudden it's Nidoran, and I'm like, I got 100 of these, I don't need any more.
Oh, that someone found a Dratini nest, and then like an hour later, I guess the nest switch happened.
Hmm.
So the Dratinis all vanished, and it was like just a stupid Pokemon, so no one wanted it. It's like fuck.
That's what makes the game interesting, though. The changes, they got to change it up. That they have to constantly be changing it to keep it interesting.
Constant.
What's the
Constantly.
standard thing? If they didn't do it, people would bitch that they're not, and if they do it, people
Yeah.
are going to bitch that they are.
Yeah.
So it's,
They have to
yeah,
go for
people
what the
are-
majority want. And I think the majority of people want things that are different every time they open it up.
So I think another underrated game, golf with your friends.
Did that?
No.
Is it? Has that even released, or is that alpha or beta?
It's still in alpha.
Yeah,
Or it's still in beta.
It's still a game.
it's a game that existed in 2016.
Yes.
It's in broke as fuck for Tornsole.
yeah,
I was gonna say
yeah,
it's golf with your friends unless if it's torn.
yeah. And then that is the most overrated game of the year.
You need to contact them, dude.
We're
They
doing
don't
the
care.
overrated or overrated game of the year.
No, that
Overrated?
would be for Tornsole overrated.
No.
The most.
We're talking about now overrated.
No,
games?
not yet. My most underrated or underappreciated would be Firewatch. I think I loved that game. It was a hell of a lot of fun. A lot of people hated the ending, and if you watched it when I played it, you would understand. But I liked
It's a
it.
walking simulator.
It was a fun story game. I loved the story games. I liked the freaking Walking Dead game when that came out. It's the same idea, It's a story-driven game. I really liked it though. I thought it was fun. We can do overrated if you want. Overrated game or overhyped game. I have an idea for an overhyped game. I think everybody probably is the same one.
Go ahead
Shadow
and-
Go. He's gonna have like a 10-minute segment right here.
What's the most overhyped game?
Yeah, you start. I'll go.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
I think that is like easily everyone's number one on the list.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Run, Saul.
He's yelling at something. He's yelling something.
I'll cut you, motherfucker.
Is he getting something?
I don't know.
He's
Um,
going Sam Jackson on somebody.
did you have an underrated or underplayed Tornsoul?
I never got to play Titanfall 2, but I would say just from what I've heard from everybody in the gaming community,
Yeah.
that's the one.
It probably is number one. Yeah,
So, yeah.
the best game that came out that has gotten the least amount of purchases or something along those lines.
I have friends that
He's
they
just walking
love-
aimlessly.
They love the first Titanfall, and when they heard Titanfall 2 and saw the gameplay, what they were doing for changes, they were super excited. And the friend that I know that loves Titanfall 2 right now and the original Titanfall, he doesn't pre-order games. He pre-ordered Titanfall 2. So that's how hyped he was for it. And he's already done. It's not Prestige in Titanfall 2. It's called something else, but it's basically max level when you start over again. He's already done that. So.
We still talking overrated?
That was underrated. We went to Tornsoul for underrated, and he agreed with Titanfall too.
All right. So what are we on now? You were talking about No Man's Sky.
Yeah, well, that was the most overhyped game.
I can't tell you anymore because I called that, didn't I?
I don't. Yeah, I guess.
Down.
I was excited for the premise, and then
I
as it
called
got
that.
closer and closer to release date, it was starting to become more and more clear that they were not going to deliver even a fraction of what they said they were going to give.
Yep, I called that. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say Overwatch.
Overhyped.
I know. I'm gonna say it's just. Let me get this right. It's not a bad game. But I think its problem is it's falling way too far into this category of like the MOBA slash. Like the MOBA community type thing. Like all the piss poor bad elements that League of Legends really gets a lot of rep for, of a really, really piss poor community. I see that built into Overwatch to the 10th degree. And it's one of those games where you really can't just pick it up and have a good time. You can pick up any game you play, you're going to have people that are going to be bitching and moaning about how you play. It's multiplayer. Anybody that's played multiplayer games, they know that's something you jump into, you know?
Mhm.
But Overwatch is one of those games where it's a team-based game that's designed around team play and elements and stuff like that, and proper selections of your players' characters and stuff like that, and the counter picking and all that aspect. And the problem is that you get that really element of that. To me, it's like a lure and a beacon to that type of player that's going to do nothing but cry, bitch, and moan and complain because the game isn't going the way they think the game should go. And to me personally, that was the reason I stopped playing it. If I want to play something seriously, I'll play it seriously. If I want to play something just to have fun, will go and play it just to have fun. And Overwatch is just one of those games where even if you play casually, if you just try to jump on a regular, not ranked, just regular like fighting match,
Yeah.
you're in. I haven't played one game where it hasn't been somebody completely losing their fucking mind over you're not playing the game properly, and they're going to sit there and tell you why you're not playing the game.
I haven't experienced that at all.
I haven't experienced that, but I experienced something close to that in Overwatch, where it's more like, we need a tank. We need someone to play tank. Switch to tank. Yeah, you need to switch to tank. We don't need a Hanzo. We need a tank.
And it's just, and see, that's the thing.
Switch to tank then.
It's like I wouldn't mind that kind of mentality in a ranked match because you're trying to achieve something. But if it's one of those things where it's not a game that you can just play and have fun in.
That's not the game's fault, though.
I'm not saying it's the game's fault, but it's the style of the game that leads to that. So it's like it's not a major issue. To me, it's an issue with the game, and that's, like I said, to me, it's the reason why the game is like overhyped over stuff. I mean, it's you can't just play it and have fun. It's one of the.
Well, you can.
Yeah, I haven't experienced any of that. That's really interesting.
Saul knows.
I have.
What's that, Torn?
Hey, it's just because you suck.
Yeah.
Probably what it is.
Yeah, true.
No, I think it was
User
me and Torn
error.
who queued up, and that dude was just trash talking us afterwards.
What?
And so I don't know what Torn's talking about. I've heard more. I've spent more matches playing with Torn, where at the end of the match, all they do is point about that shitty, horrible Lucius player and how he should just uninstall the game. Yeah.
Carries the game, I heard.
But yes, I'm having fun.
Hey, I like playing with Torn because we do stupid shit.
I will grief you to death.
I'm just
Stay near the cliff. We're gonna bait them. Okay.
it's like I said, that's the thing that just to me it's not a bad game, and just to me it gets way too much credit. It really is. It to me, in my opinion. It's great and it's all enema, but it's not as good as people like make it out.
Space Hulk.
I don't even want to talk about that because that has any credit whatsoever. So
Has that officially released?
That was overhyped in God of
Yeah.
War.
I don't even know if it really got within the community. Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't really get hyped up anywhere other than maybe the community itself.
It was.
I think the better thing with that is that would be like a new category. And not even that No Man's Sky would build that.
Disappointment.
Game that was sold at one thing and then actually isn't what it actually is supposed to be.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean, so
They didn't even try selling it on the multiplayer, and they fucked that up.
yeah. Deathwatch would get the honorable mention, but the gold would go to No Man's Sky because No Man's Sky was supposed to be one thing and it was something completely different.
And they were even like up until the day before it came out, they were even saying things that were not in the game
Yeah.
were going to be in it. So that was just blatant bullshit in that one, and it's too bad.
Yep.
Too bad, so sad.
Yeah. So anything else for 2016? Any reflections?
Personal favorite. It's not underrated at all, but honorable mention for me would have been Final Fantasy 15.
The Witness was another good one that I played.
Go
And it
choke
was a
yourself.
puzzle game, so it's hard to say it was underrated because puzzle games never really sell crazy good anyways.
Another one.
But it was a fun. No, it was a straight up puzzle game. It was in the realm of Myst, that sort of idea. And it was fun. I liked it. The only problem that I had with it was that I was doing it while streaming on Thursdays, so it was like a week apart. And the way it works is that you start. There's like 8 different areas, and you like learn the puzzles as you do those areas, and then in some areas it'll pull in aspects of puzzles that you learned before. So it'll be like 3 weeks later, and I'm trying to remember how the puzzle, so that got confusing. So if you played it within like a few days, it'd be a lot easier.
Okay, Shadow.
But I had a hard time with that. But it's a fun game. It's a fun one. Good puzzle game.
I just read Twitch chat.
Oh. So I wasn't just losing it.
Oh.
How could you not? I can't repeat any of it on Twitch. So.
Why not? I mean, like, it was in the chat thing.
And The Division, that was kind of overhyped. Overrated? I don't know. I think it was overrated because once it came out, I think people realized what it was.
I don't know about that. I don't know if it was over. The Division kind of did everything it said it was going to do. The problem with the Division was how horribly broken it was in the PvP element. Other than that, the game functioned the way the game was supposed to function. And actually didn't function half that bad. I mean, me and Jordan played that a lot and had a lot of fun playing it. It was just, it gets to a point where it becomes that complete, like, bullet-soaked grind, and it's just like, ugh. You know? What did you think, Tord? You played it a lot, too.
It had potential. I had high hopes for it.
You had what?
What?
You had what?
What?
You had what?
Okay.
I had high hopes for it.
Oh,
But,
okay.
They just never got it fixed. I don't know. I burn out on it quick.
The problem was...
Have you tried it recently?
I have not.
We might have to give it a shot, Torn, because...
Apparently they did a lot. They updated a lot.
Everything I've heard is that the survival mode they've added is fantastic.
Chaz is saying he's enjoying it.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, it's fun. It really is a fun game until you cap. Once you cap, it's literally a complete and utter grind.
Worse than WoW.
For minor upgrades.
Oh man, it makes WoW look like WoW hands out shit easily, but I mean, Division basically is. The thing with WoW is you can generally get an idea of where you need to go to get the gear you need to get. In this, it's complete utter
Shoot and hope for a job.
It's
It's
100%
Diablo. It's a Diablo grind then.
It's a random it's a Diablo grind, but it's one of those things where you can't even guarantee you're going to get
Anything.
something that you're going to need, and there's no guarantee what you get is going to be something that works with whatever you're setting up. And the problem with the game is that it becomes a bullet soak. So it's like you'll be fighting against stronger and stronger guys who literally, it's like, I just shot him 15 times in the head with a rocket launcher and he's still got 98% health.
Yep.
This is going to take a while. So it's hope you got one guy in your squad with the ammo box. But
Yeah.
it's a horrible clusterfuck. But supposedly the new thing they released was fantastic. The survival mode's supposed to be the best.
And I like the idea. I was ready for a new type of game like that. I was ready for it.
So I should probably launch up my Uplay and patch Division.
More than likely, I mean, it's something we might want to give a try.
What do you got?
I got the Division with my keyboard, and then I launched it up with you guys. We played for like a day, and then everyone dropped.
I said that was your complaint with World of Tanks.
No. My complaint. No.
No.
My complaint with World of Tanks was the damn fucking gold ammo. That was my complaint with the World of Tanks.
But you can buy that with silver now.
They fixed that, and then you can buy it with silver now.
Yeah.
Alright,
It's not a pay to win type situation.
my other complaint with World of Tanks that both Bone and Torn have heard, and Ice has Torn, is I hate auto-loading bastards.
Yeah,
But there's strengths and weaknesses to everything. I mean,
I shoot my goddamn anti-tank firing. He shoots fucking Volvos, basically. It bounces off a light tank. It just bounces off a light tank. And I got 30
I just pictured a Volvo.
bouncing off a tank.
It's boxy Volvo.
Yeah,
coming
that little
fucking line.
fucking bat chat bounces my fucking round and then goes up beside me and shoots me 4 times and I die because he could just right next. Fuck that game.
Figure of the night.
That's about how it goes sometimes, though.
That's it. Don't get me wrong. I still like World of Tanks. I really, really do. But it's just that element of that game does suck. The autoloaders really do break it. And Bone, you can't talk about it because you're a cheap bastard and use one.
If you can't beat him, join him. You know.
Why even put the gold rounds in there? Why not just make it more skill based?
Yeah, the whole gold round. I mean, they have to make money, and I don't fault them
No,
for
they
that.
don't.
But the fact that you can buy it with silver.
Remember the old days where you just made a game and then it was stood on its own merits? Remember that? Isn't that
Not to
crazy?
mention,
Fuck.
they make more than enough money off premium accounts. All right. They make more than enough money off the fucking. Trust me, most of the money that I've put into the game, and I've put a fair amount into the game, has come off of all that free experience sitting up there, and you're going, I really like to get that new tank.
Yeah.
I could play it for 2 weeks and earn the experience, or I can just cash in that shit ton of free experience I have for $50 of,
I'm sure they looked at the numbers and were like, well, we're not selling that many gold rounds. Let's just make them more silver, you know?
I think the main issue with the gold rounds was that it really became an issue with the game. It really broke the way the game was played because the people, like for example, the heavy duty wargaming clans that actually play the tournaments and territory, they win gold in the game through defending territories and such. And they were spending all of their money on gold, or on the actual gold ammunition, and you can tell the difference. And with all the mods, and even some of the mods that are now being implemented into the game, it'll show you, what rounds are hitting and which your hit miss and your bounce, and it'll tell you, you're getting hit by a heat round. Heat rounds are gold. So it's just and it's I don't know about what's your highest tier tank? You got tier 8s and tier 9s, don't you? You got a tier 10.
I got a 10.
Yeah, what are you running? Medium or heavy?
American medium.
Yeah.
That one.
And I know Bone, you got a heavy tank, right? But you got the
I've got several 10s, yeah.
yeah.
10 just cost me money. It's like
That's all it does.
it's like I'm firing money out the end of the barrel.
Yeah, you play the 5s. You play the tier 5s to make money to play your 10s.
That's like my JPE 100. Every time I fire that and it bounces or it misses, it's like there goes 50,000 silver. There goes 50,000 silver. Just
Yeah, you play your tier 5s to make money, and then you take that money and waste it on your tier 10s.
Yeah. So, but it's like I said, nothing's worse than when you're like a tier 8, tier 9, tier 10 heavy. And like I see it all the time with my ST1, my tier 9 Russian heavy, where it's like you get yourself and you're lined up. And if you know how to line yourself up, you can make yourself virtually invulnerable in some heavies. And that ST1 is a beast. And it's like you're sitting there bouncing around, and all of a sudden it's like somebody's petting you, penning you, and you look down and it's like gold ammo, gold ammo, gold ammo. It's just like, fuck you, game. You know?
Yeah, that's yeah. I wish they'd never done that.
So
Gold ammo.
it sucks, dude. It's because the gold ammo automatically, like, in some cases it doubles the pen chance. The damage usually stays the same, but the pen chance goes
The
through
pen
the
goes
roof.
up, yeah.
And you'll have tanks that, like, they just cannot get penned on the front plate. And half the strategy of the game is you get somebody that does that, trying to aim for weak points, or don't go to head with them. You know, hit them from the sides or something. Real, you know, the whole tactics element. You can just switch to gold rounds and like butter, bing, right through. Bing. You can still bounce. Don't get me wrong, but your chances of penning are a hell of a lot greater. So, how did we get on World Tanks again?
I don't remember.
That was a
how-
wild ride.
Oh, yeah.
We were going straight, and then suddenly we just took a left.
Yeah.
Ice brought it up,
Damn it, Ice.
and yes.
Oh, because you had
There
the
are
same
some-
complaint as the thing we were talking about before.
Generally speaking, if I hit it with that JPE 100, if I hit you, and I hit you in the side or the rear, it's going through the tank. You're feeling it, but if you know, it will bounce a lot off the front plates.
You feel me now, Mr. Krabs?
And that thing's got like 350 pen on the front, so
Yeah. So is that it for 2016? Anybody have any other thoughts? Philosophical?
well, pause that for a second. Don't even talk about the mouse. The mouse has got like 5,000 hit points. It literally just soaks damage.
You put gold rounds in and you put them into the mouse, though. You're
And then
penning
it
that
just-
thing from the front.
Slow, unstoppable death machine.
Yeah. He's saying we got on World of Tanks because you were complaining about something else that was similar. And we've talked about GTA 5's online system where they make grinding out gold or money for that a pain in the ass, so that it encourages people to spend money on buying it.
What was that about?
Refocusing
That makes me nervous for Red Dead Redemption 2 in their online system.
If they ever move it to the PC.
Even if they don't, they're still going to be selling money. They're still going to be making it difficult to get money online and then selling in-game money for real-world money, you know?
And then you have hackers.
And then you have hackers. And then you have a company like Blizzard, who with Overwatch gives loot crates away practically for free.
Hey, we have a special event. Here's a loot crate.
Yeah,
Hey,
here's 5.
loot crate.
Here's Christmas. Have 5 loot crates.
How much are the loot crates? I think they're like $1 a piece. But
Nobody
here's a
ever
loot crate.
buys them. You know, nobody ever pays for them. They just level up and get them that way.
And
So
then they throw it out. They throw
that's
it.
how you get people to be loyal to your company.
And then you have people like Rocket League.
Yeah, and people like Rocket League who only make you pay for cosmetics.
Oh, I know so many people that are pissed about that. It's like, why do I just pay for cosmetics? That should be in game that I can unlock. There's a lot in game that you can unlock. Also, the fact that every time they do a free DLC, like big expansion, they usually have more stuff you can unlock. But anyhow, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Wait, did Rocket League come out in 2016?
I don't know.
I think that was a 20. No, was it? No.
I don't think so. I feel like it's been out 2015, July of 2015.
Okay.
It's almost 2 years old at this
What
point.
about Siege? Because I know you guys.
No,
love-
that's old.
I got nothing then.
Well, an honorable mention to Siege. They keep doing more updates, and some of the updates are really, really good on it.
2015, December of 2015. So it's a little over a year old.
Well, December's kind of ending right now.
Yeah,
so.
right. Yeah, a little over a year.
Little. Shut up, Saul. What?
So you want to switch to the movie trailer?
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
Okay.
We're watching.
So
a movie.
this is the new, or the only trailer thus far for the new Alien movie, Alien Covenant. This is a sequel to Prometheus, and it's the beginning of a new trilogy, apparently.
Just a red band.
A red band trailer.
More alien.
Please, oh,
The volume
I
okay on
can't
that?
do that for anyone. Infection.
That's why it's Red Band.
Look at all that blood.
Is Ridley Scott directing it or producing it?
I don't know if he's producer or director. I think he's directing, but I'm not sure. I can look it up in a little bit.
You said this is after Prometheus, right?
This is a sequel to Prometheus. So Fassbender was in Prometheus, right? And he was the last one to live,
I haven't seen Prometheus.
or one of the few people to survive. I forget.
mixed
It was a while ago I saw
Yes.
it. Yeah.
I heard mixed reviews about it, so I didn't see it.
You sure about this, Captain?
How do you mean?
I really don't know what the fuck's out there.
There's the Red Band. Fuck.
A face hugger.
And Red Band.
I
Naked
missed it.
people
What?
in a shower. Oh, jeez.
Go back, I missed it.
I've seen tentacles in anime.
They're in a shower. I'm gonna mute it since it's not necessary anymore. There. They're in addition to a shower.
Okay.
And Nom.
We know they just ruined that. Hopefully that's the first scene or something. They just ruined that guy getting eaten.
Did they show actually who the guy was in the shower? I didn't see his
No, but once you see the scene, you'll know who it is. Some guy with black curly-ish hair.
Well, we're really taking a lot of time spending the, yeah.
face. Look at that sour sheen. I like shit.
No. Yeah, Danny McBride is in it.
I probably should see Prometheus.
So is this trying to tie the two together, or
Reboot.
I don't think it's a reboot. But yeah, it's a direct sequel because Fassbender's character is probably they pick him up on this planet. I'm assuming it's the planet that Prometheus landed on. And so they go and get Fassbender and who knows what else. The alien was getting turned on by that shower scene. But they got the look down for sure. You know?
What, Alien?
Yeah,
Well, if
the
Ridley Scott's
aliens.
actually directing. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Judging by what I'm seeing, it looks like they're trying to make a mixture between the original Aliens and Aliens 2, with the whole aspect of the alien and the military forces out to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this is all about. You're a parasite?
Well, yeah,
That's
maybe.
what I'm trying to figure out.
Takes over his body or something.
Obviously, we're going to have an android in one of the crew members.
Always.
So,
This looks a lot like the scene from the original Alien movie.
That it does. Put it on a planet with an atmosphere this time instead of not having an atmosphere.
Right, yeah.
My question is, like, is it spoiling if you kind of tell me a little bit about Prometheus? Like, the ship Prometheus or whatever had the alien eggs on it or whatever, correct?
I really don't remember much about it.
Higher Prometheus, I've seen bits and pieces.
I just remember that the aliens themselves looked
This
different.
was about an alien race that basically sent their DNA along, and they became us eventually, or we came from them. But I know it's like, is it a prequel to Alien? Is that how it goes? Or-
Yes.
The whole idea of Prometheus was it was kind of a prequel showing the inception of what the aliens were. But I think, I don't know, and I'm probably going to be wrong, and I think the idea was that the alien species was like a counter, something to like go against what they possibly created or some shit like that. I don't know, to be honest.
Because I thought
No,
the
their
Predators.
planet was going the way of the dodos, so they killed themselves, or they destroyed themselves on purpose to spread the genetic code to us. well, Earth, which we would come from. I don't know how they make the transition to the alien. That whole thing.
I guess I probably have to watch it to really get a good understanding.
Ridley Scott is directing.
That's a good sign then, because Ridley Scott was the original for all three of the original Aliens.
And there was a thing in Prometheus about the engineers or something, wasn't there?
I don't want to speculate too much because I don't know.
It was such a long time ago that I saw it.
My
I'm not
question,
gonna watch Prometheus again.
my question is like, what about Alien versus Predator? Wasn't Predator part of the Alien universe,
You're talking about something completely different now.
or is that it's part of that different parallel universe itself?
They've all Predator had always kind of shown the aspect that the aliens was part of the same universe. That was the old teaser they added to the Predator 2. When at the end of Predator 2, when Danny Glover goes onto the Predator ship, they have like a trophy case, and one of the trophies in there is a xenomorph skull. So they kind of always hinted at that, and then there's people that kind of took it and ran. But I don't know if it's necessarily.
Wait, didn't they have the whole Alien versus Predator series?
They did. Like I
They
said,
had a whole movie, and I guess the aliens the Predators used the aliens as like hunting, like as a
Yeah, trophies.
well, you're going with the aspect that the entire the whole Predator culture is based on a species of aliens that are hunters, and that's their whole thing in life is hunting dangerous prey, and that's the reason why they go around. And one of the reasons they do the whole Earth aspect was every so many years a predator would be dropped in some place on Earth and he'd have to survive, and then eventually he'd leave. Okay, that's the whole thing, trying to find something. So the idea of a species that wants to hunt dangerous prey,
the aliens was just another species
that they would just hunt. It would be like a trophy that if you could hunt xenomorph and kill it, then it would be something of great value.
Mm-hmm.
It's like any hunter would want every hunter wants like a tiger pelt because to show I hunted some dangerous prey. That would be the exact same. You'd want the xenomorph skull to show that you've hunted one of the most dangerous creatures in the universe.
Well, at the end of Alien versus Predator, the dead predator, the alien hybrid pops out of it. They had a hybrid between, and then that was it. It's like
now
because the alien always takes on some sort, some of the like in Aliens 2, it turned into a dog-like alien, because it killed the dog.
Alien 3.
3, thank you.
Whatever species the alien facehugger impregnates, it takes on features or aspects of that species. So that's the whole thing with if you want to go into the whole nerd sci-fi orgasm type, nerdgasm aspect of it, it's that's the reason xenomorphs are the most dangerous species, because they can constantly adapt to wherever they're at. So
excuse me.
Holy crap.
Sorry. Sorry.
Whatever happened to that? Did they make another Alien vs. Predator?
No, I don't think so. I think there's only AVP. I don't think they ever.
There was 2 of those.
Did they make a sequel?
Yeah.
I don't remember a sequel.
Yep. I remember.
The thing about Prometheus I remember was the engineers were involved, and weren't they the ones that were dealing with the xenomorph?
It's a possibility. I remember,
and it looked way different in the movie than they did in the Alien movies.
I think they were trying to lead into the aspect the alien species was genetically engineered to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the whole idea, was that there was a species that was creating. I think they created humanity. I think that was supposed to be the shock thing to that movie or something. And it was like the alien species was something they created to do something or something like that. Like I said, I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's been a while. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Bits and pieces.
There's 2. It's just it wasn't called AVP2. It was Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Of course.
We need to have some name to say it's a second, but we don't really want to call it 2.
Yeah.
Okay, Asvold.
So we
Asphalt.
didn't.
You sound like your Pathfinder character there.
Oh, okay.
Anybody need to discuss that any further, or are we moving on from there?
Yeah, we-
Last thing that we got is the highest grossing actors of the year. We're really scraping the bottom of the barrel of the news this week. A list was compiled of, and what they did is they took the amount of money that was grossed for the films they were in, and they added that up, and you have the highest grossing films for movies those actors appeared in. Does that make sense?
No, but go ahead.
So
All
if I was in a movie that made $20 million and I was in another movie that made $40 million, my gross would be $60 million, yeah. But that's not how much money they made. That's how much money
It's
their
just
movies
they
made.
added up what movie, who was
Yeah,
in what
their
movie.
movies. So Scarlett Johansson was number one at $1.2 billion. Now, she was in Captain America Civil War, which made $1.15 billion. So number 2 and 3 are Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. are tied because they were both in that movie. And that's the only movie they were in. Scarlett Johansson was in another movie that made $0.05 billion, which kicked her up above the other guys, yeah.
Pushed her over the edge.
Yeah.
So why isn't Samuel L. Jackson winning this?
I don't know. What was he in this? What was he in this year? Yeah.
I mean, he was obviously in the Civil War.
Nope.
I don't think he was in Civil War.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing him in there at all. Oh, no, he wasn't there, but only for like 2 scenes. Two.
It was at
Oh wait, I'm thinking of Winter Soldier. Never mind.
Yeah, he was in Winter Soldier.
Not in Civil War. Wrong movie.
No, not Civil War. They needed to save money on the cast for Civil War, so they kept him out of it.
Yeah, but it was everyone else.
All right, good. But continue.
Yes.
Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans.
Jr. and Evans were number 2 and 3, respectively, at $1.15 billion. Margot Robbie's number 4 at $1.1 billion. That's partially because of Suicide Squad. She was also in another movie this year. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, maybe she was in? I think that came out this year. That was the movie with, what's her name? Tina Fey, where they were in Iraq or some Middle Eastern country. She was a reporter or something. Anyways, so she was in at least 2 movies. Amy Adams with $1.04 billion, partially because of Batman v Superman. Ben Affleck came in 6th, right behind Amy Adams at $1.02 billion. Again, Batman vs Superman. Henry Cavill, $870 million. Batman Superman, I think, was the only movie he was in. So the other 2 must have been in other things as well. A lot of superhero movies here. Ryan Reynolds came in at number 8, $820 million. Another superhero.
Was that all Deadpool, or that was probably
one thing? But he's been in he's in everything.
I think Deadpool was the only thing he was in this year.
No, he's in the one that just came out, Passengers or whatever.
No, that's Chris Pratt.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah.
That's my man.
Isn't he in
No. Oh, he's in another movie you're thinking
He was
of.
in some other movies this year, though.
But yeah, I know he was in at least like Deadpool and like another movie.
Irrelevant. So continue.
Chris Pratt's not on the list. Look at that.
Yeah, it's just a strange.
Felicity Jones, $805 million. Will Smith, $775 million. Again,
Who's Felicity
Suicide Squad. Who's Felicity Jones? That's a good question.
Saul.
What was she in?
We can't hear you, Saul.
She was in Rogue One. She was the main character in Rogue One. She was also in the movie Inferno and A Monster Calls and Collide and True Story. No, True Story was last year. So Collide, A Monster Calls, Inferno, and Rogue One were all this year. And Rogue One's already at $500 million. I saw. So they are absolutely crushing it within 2 weeks.
It's a really good movie.
That's insane. $500 million in 2 freaking weeks.
Wait till the Han Solo movie comes out, though.
Yeah.
Who's playing Han Solo? Did they cast someone for him?
Chris Pratt, hopefully.
Oh, Bono will throw money at that.
No. Yeah, I would throw more than money at it.
He'll go to the movie theater with like Chris Pratt's face on his shirt and stuff, and in a plaid shirt with it.
All the guys are throwing money, all the women are throwing vaginas.
And then Bo just throws himself.
That's funny. We had no idea what her name was.
Who?
Felicity Jones.
Oh, okay. I still
People are gonna know who she is now.
Yeah.
After that movie, She did a good job too. I thought she did well.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I liked it.
So that's all the news we have for the week. Did you have something else you wanted to bring up? You said you might have.
One thing I was gonna say was like movie slash reviews. I've been watching a lot of movies this past week.
Okay, go ahead.
Saw Suicide Squad. Disappointed. I didn't think it was all that great.
I thought it was okay, but it definitely was not great.
They can't run with this movie, but it wasn't bad. Like the beginning of the movie wasn't bad, but it felt like they got to a point where like the writing got to the point where it was just like we don't know what the fuck to do anymore.
I liked. I thought the beginning was so. It was a movie that could have used a half an hour. The beginning was so freaking rushed. The character that gets killed didn't even have an introduction. They were like, "Oh yeah, there's this guy too." 10 minutes later, he dies.
They rushed it like Warcraft.
We watched that last.
Yeah,
night.
exactly like Warcraft. Warcraft could use that another half an hour.
So watching it last night, and I was like, "Did he just die?" She's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Who the fuck was he?"
Not.
Well, I haven't seen the extended version yet. I want to see that and see if adding an extra 20 some odd minutes.
I heard it didn't make a difference. Like the Batman Superman, I heard it makes a difference. I heard Suicide Squad, it makes no difference.
It added some more Joker scenes, but it was more like love scenes between the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah, which people said they didn't need. They wanted it to be darker, and they didn't add those scenes.
I did not like Jared Leto's Joker. He just didn't seem to.
Well, he's the mob. You know,
there's a
type
mixed review
Joker.
on it, but I haven't seen it. I can't say anything yet. I'm just on the fence and throwing random shit everywhere, but. I think it's probably more of the writing on how they wrote the Joker into it. Maybe his acting is okay. It's just they need to write him better.
It felt like it didn't really. I don't know. It just didn't feel like the writing was there. It really didn't. And like, yeah, Saul was like, "Well, it's a DC movie," and I'm like, "Yeah."
I'm holding out for Wonder Woman. I really want Wonder Woman to be good.
They have to do something because the movie, like I said, the beginning of the movie was great. We're like going through and talking about the characters and stuff. That was great. It's like, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. And then it's just like they throw everybody into a thing, and it's just like, okay. Well, like, the only part of the movie that was badass was like the bit where they're getting attacked by all the whatever the fuck they were, and Deadpool jumps on top of the car and just goes fucking crazy.
Deadshot.
Not
Deadpool.
What's his name, Saul?
Deadshot.
Deadshot.
Yeah.
That was the best part of the movie because that literally he's the only character where like they take the time to go, this guy is like he never misses. They show the scene where he like putting like everything in the 10 ring and melting the plates of the targeting things. And then it's like you actually see him doing it. And it's great because like all the SF guys are like shit, and that was like awesome. That scene was great. But it was literally like Harley Quinn was just like, look at me in hot pants, watch me hit things with a bat.
I thought she did a good job.
She did a good job.
I thought Will Smith and Margot Robbie held the movie together.
I wouldn't say that they did it, but it was just like it felt like if I'm creating like a team of super fucking people, Deadshot, yeah, without a fucking doubt.
Yeah.
Why the fuck
He's
do
a
I
badass.
need a guy who throws boomerangs, and why the fuck do I need a crazy chick with a bat?
Yeah, they did a bad job of putting them in a situation where they were required. Captain Boomerang, the only thing he was used for was the camera. The camera in that one in the end. Remember? That was really about it. I was disappointed with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's like the guy they killed, the guy that could tie knots and supposedly climb anything. It's like, yeah, he'd have been fantastic if they didn't kill him in the first 30 seconds of the fucking movie.
That was great.
And I'm sorry, whoever wrote that comic must be really depressed.
Well,
because it's like, hey, we want to use your guy. What are we gonna do with him? Kill him.
Well, if you think about it,
I think he was only ever in Suicide Squad.
Example.
Look, the first thing you do is you check and see if the electric fence is really electric. It's the first rule. You gotta.
He gets blown up because he tries to run away.
Yeah, you gotta see if the security fence is gonna kill you or not.
I want to know what the movie would have been like before they re-edited it.
Well, apparently the people that
the drawing board a little bit and did reshot stuff and everything after Deadpool.
After Deadpool.
Apparently the team that edited
noticed, like, the trailers became more comical and everything. It's like,
well, the people that edited the movie is the people. It was a trailer editing house. They don't edit movies. They edit trailers, and they gave it to them because the trailers were doing so well. They were like, here, edit the movie for us. and so it you can sort of tell it feels very discombobulated at times.
It did feel discombobulated, and it just, like I said, the storyline never seemed to coalesce to a point where it was like I gave a damn what they were doing.
It was like a giant trailer.
To a point, maybe,
Kind of, yeah.
But it's just like I said, that was the thing that got me. Is like that scene with that whatever the fuck his name is, Will Smith's character. I can't even remember his character's name.
Deadshot.
Deadshot.
Yes.
Dead shot.
That
Say
was
it again. Dead shot.
Awesome. Deadshot.
You're gonna
That
see him in another movie
that-
probably.
That is fucking awesome because it was just like, okay, we're seeing what the character can do. And the aspect after he does it, he turns around and gives the SF captain a hard time. Like, this is how I don't run. You know, and that was like, that's a very good like character building, showing what a character can do. But like everybody else, it was just like, wow, the one guy throws boomerangs and he doesn't throw them, he stabs people. Harley Quinn beats people with the bat and kills them with the Matever revolver. You know, and it's just like, why did you want her on the team? Because she's psychotic.
Because she's crazy and
She looked good, looks really good in fishnets and hot pants.
and she's replaceable. It's the
And she's easily one of the this probably behind the Joker the second most recognizable villain.
Well, not even just that. The Suicide Squad is a squad of people that if they die, oh well.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the aspect, but they're supposedly sending them on the high, extremely dangerous. They plot the whole beginning of the movie talks about, you know, Superman and the aspect of having to fight against these super villains and super nasty things that could kill you, and they need a group of people that one is disavowed that they can go, well, we had nothing to do with it. But it's like, it's like, what the hell? What does the Boomerang guy and Harley Quinn bring to the team?
What
Harley
could-
Quinn knows most of what the Joker probably does because she's worked with the Joker.
Yeah, but I mean that yet again. What does the Joker bring to the, you know?
What
It's just-
could all of them put together do to like a Superman?
Can't hear yourself.
That's that. Yeah, exactly. The whole thing was just the whole thing. Oh yeah, Saul. Sorry.
We can't hear you.
We could hear you once.
We can't hear you.
Come on in here.
Come yell.
Come in this.
Turn the mic.
Took her headset off.
Turn the camera mic on again. It worked fine.
She's been trying to yell at us. This whole
Headset on, but turn on the mic on the.
She's been yelling at us the whole time.
She's getting more and more pissed.
You need to get her some alcohol. You need to
Oh,
get.
don't worry. I got another movie to bitch about too. So
Oh gosh.
Well,
No, she's shaking her head. No.
I
Please
think that
don't.
you guys watch these movies and are bitching about them.
Yeah.
yes.
Was Batman Superman the other one?
No, it is not.
Is
Oh.
it a superhero movie?
No.
Do we want to?
What the fuck does that
Assassin's
mean?
Creed.
Oh, Assassin's Creed.
Oh, that just looks horrible.
I didn't think it looked. I didn't think it looked horrible. I just didn't. I don't think it's
I'm
going
not
to be a
even gonna pay money to
blockbuster.
see it. I'm not even gonna buy the movie. Like, it's not on my list to even look at. I watched the trailers with you guys and other trailers. I read about some of the reviews, and I'm sorry. They can say Warcraft was a horrible movie. I will watch that
I
many.
don't think people said Warcraft was a horrible movie. It just wasn't a great movie.
Yeah, because it wasn't Lord of the Rings.
It was very rushed. I think was part of the problem.
No, people keep thinking fantasy Lord of the Rings. That's what they thought the whole time.
Maybe.
And yes, there was some little.
Was that released this year?
what, Warcraft?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was June.
I liked the movie.
I have it on Blu-ray. I watched it like 5 extra times already.
And again, that was another movie that could have used like a half an hour at the beginning to slow
I do
things
agree
down.
with that. I think they could have probably split it up into 2 different movies to really cover the ground, to put even more lore into it. Explain more about the Orcs' home world. Do nice basic on how the humans have been getting around so damn fast. How much time? Actually, it would have just been nice on how much time the whole movie like took.
Yeah.
Because you don't say like it took 2 weeks to travel from point A to point B, and then suddenly the gate is finished. How long did it take to build the gate?
They're very, very fast at building.
It's sort of like Game of Thrones in
160
that.
builders.
It's sort of like Game of Thrones in that aspect where, like, weeks can pass by, but it's like 10 seconds in the TV show.
Well, that's what I mean. It would have been nice to kind of show that aspect of
Yeah.
time in the movie, because I think a lot of people didn't grasp like, wow, they worked fast.
Yeah, but
And
you
again,
can get through that by doing like a quick frame of the winter, autumn, spring, summer.
They didn't really do anything like that. It was just like suddenly they're in Goldshire, and then suddenly they're in Stormwind, and then suddenly they're all the way in Deadwind's Pass.
You're really not that far away if you know your Warcraft. So.
Yeah, but how long? Like
Do I have a horse?
in game, it doesn't take long. But if you take it into actuality, like how long would that actually be to travel?
Well, I haven't seen.
They
Yeah, but
suddenly,
a movie
suddenly
can't
somehow
be
got
6
all the way
hours long.
with an army with with a small little platoon, all the way to Black Rock Mountain.
I don't know.
They use the pass near or the Dwarven area.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, there's questions that, like, I don't know. It would have been nice to pull those in.
Yeah, I think they were trying to get a movie
She's
out.
still stewing. She's trying to figure that shit out. So yell about these.
She's still pissed
Yeah,
about Shadow's negativity.
So negative.
We know that he's negative. You don't have to tell us.
Leakage.
All right, I got to bring up my other movie to bitch about, which is
Yes, Assassin's Creed. Yes.
How bad is it?
Well, how does Saul think about it before we get into Shadow's negativity?
All right, so tell us what you thought about it.
I can't comment on it because
Why is that?
I'm not going into it. I
Go
can't
in.
comment about it because I actually have to watch it. So
You haven't watched it.
She fell asleep. You paid money to go see the movie and fell asleep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think right there it says no. The movie's horrible.
How horrible.
Yeah, if she fell asleep, yeah, that's not a good
I fell
sign.
The problem,
Everything.
I was tired.
Everything
I'm
I heard
sorry.
about the movie
It was a
was
long
the fact
day.
that they barely did any actually into Assassin's Creed's past. It was mostly into the present.
Well, there's the first thing about it. If you haven't played any of the Assassin's Creed game, you're not really gonna have an idea what's going on.
Hmm.
I played one of them, and I didn't even play an hour worth because I got bored.
The second major issue with the game is the same fucking
Movie.
problem I've had with the fucking games, which is I do not want to play a video game that takes me to some really awesome environment. Pirates, the Middle East during the
Yeah.
Crusades, the French Revolution, American Revolution, whatever the fucking shit is. I do not want to go to this amazing part of history and then be constantly drugged back into the present to play an office simulator about going into the past to relive fucking shit. So the movie is half split between really, really awesome fight scenes with like everything you see in the Assassin's Creed videos, like the awesome wrist knives and jumping and slicing and all that shit. Really, really cool fucking shit. And then the unbelievably stupid, boring, real world bullshit between the Templars and the Assassins and the whole underlying storyline of the video games. It's horribly done. The movie is shit. It makes no sense what the fuck's going on. Even the fight scenes and the shit that's going on in the movie that really are like somewhat interesting and cool, they're constantly broken up by like going back to the real world and showing what's his actor's name?
Michael Fassbender.
Bouncing around attached to some mechanical arm, reliving and doing all this shit he's doing. It's horrible. It is horrible. It is a dumb movie. It is stupid. It makes no sense whatsoever. Do not spend money to see this movie.
They're not even rented.
Don't even bootleg it. I mean, literally, just ignore it.
I'm gonna buy it.
And then I'm going to buy an extra copy and I'm going to send it to you.
And I will burn it.
And I will send you another one and another one.
I mean, it's literally, it gets to a point in the movie where you're almost just like, dear God, can it get any more dumb?
Yes,
does.
yes, it can.
And it can. And you're just like, really? And then the ending of the movie is so stupid.
Spoilers.
It's no, I'm not gonna give it. I could give it away. It would still be like, why? It is so stupid. It is just dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb.
No, you're dumb.
Oh!
It's stupid. It's horrible. It makes no sense. It ends with the typical Hollywood, we're going to make a sequel. And it's like, no,
Of course.
you're not. It's
I'm
like,
gonna get the box set.
And fall asleep during it.
There, you know what your Christmas present next year is going to
it's
be.
so
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, we all do.
When
The
did the movie come
$5
out?
basket at Walmart.
When did the movie come out? Last week, I think.
Yeah.
It's so bad, it's already hard to find in theaters.
Your theater is terrible. That's not a fair assessment. They didn't even have Rogue One.
Oh.
They had Rogue One.
Eee.
They had on Rogue One plenty, but it
They
just
had 2 showings.
Actually, the theater that I went to, they only had like 1 showing.
They had 4 in mine theater, and it's a shitty theater.
they had plenty. They had like 3 showings of the regular, 5 showings of the IMAX, and
3D as well.
IMAX 3D or whatever. Yeah.
Actually,
I saw, by the way,
know.
can we talk about Rogue One very briefly? If you hate 3D, this is just about 3D. If you hate 3D and you're concerned about it, the 3D in Rogue One is very minimal. It is very light on the 3D. I generally, if I have a choice, I'll go to 2D, but we couldn't. The 2D was showing at like one time, and 3D was the rest of the times. So we went to the 3D, and it's barely used, and it's barely noticeable. Usually, it's just like characters in the front of a scene, in the back of a scene, type of thing. Like it's not in your face or anything. So that's just a little
What I was
tidbit
gonna
for
say
people.
was with the Rogue One, I read some articles, and I guess the way you should see it is in IMAX. Supposedly, it just really grasps the whole movie.
Yeah, I can imagine that. The scenery, huge sceneries and set pieces.
I saw Harry
All those
Potter.
blue screens.
I saw Harry
Blue
Potter
screen.
and Chamber of Secrets in IMAX, and holy shit, that's a difference.
Yeah, but I'm just avoid Assassin's Creed. Avoid it like the plague.
2 thumbs down.
Yeah, you said it.
One reason Saul wanted to see this because whatever the guy's name was.
Michael Fassbender!
Yeah,
He is very handsome.
he's Magneto.
There's parts of the
He is sexy.
there's a part in the movie where he's just like every other time he gets attached to the Animus machine, which goes back into the past. He's always fully clothed, and there's just part of the machine, the movie where he's like, "I'm gonna go do this," and he's like, "Oh, acting like a badass." It's like, why the fuck are you? There's no reason. The whole beginning of the plot of the movie.
He's got blow fuse.
He's a convicted killer on death row. They never explain why he's on death row or what the reasoning is on death row.
It doesn't matter. He's on death row.
Yeah, but it's like there's literally nothing that. There's nothing that makes you.
Wait, didn't I see on the Animus machine it like holds him at the waist and then
Yeah, it holds him at the waist, and then like.
how does that not break his body? Just like
Because he's doing like the one scene in the movie, he's running away, so they're like doing all the parkour shit that's that you get to do in a lot in the actual Assassin's Creed games. So he's like jumping from rooftop to rooftop and everything, and it's like I said, the whole problem I have with the Assassin's Creed games is that constant like break of the actual cool shit you're doing versus the crap in the real world. And this movie just goes, everybody loves that. Let's show it all the time. So it's like you got the scenes where they're like running through like fucking Madrid, Spain in like 1492 and like jumping from rooftops and fighting guys and killing them and using all these really cool assassin weapons. And then it goes back to the real world and you're seeing the character attached at the waist with that machine, like twitching around as the
Knock it off with them,
and the whole time they're talking, and it's like they're the people in the scientists doing the technology. Like,
why don't you say something righteous and
then
hopeful
like,
for
you
a
see it,
change?
like the vision, like the program's like showing like what he's seeing like in the 3D virtual reality around him, and it's just so fucking bad. It's so bad. It's literally just horrible.
So basically, what I got out of this, there's gonna be really good memes and really good gifs.
You know what? It's definitely one of those movies where supposedly Mystery Science Theater 3000 has been picked up by Netflix. It is a movie that you hope Mystery Science Theater does because it is so ripe for how horrible the movie is. There's other characters. They're supposedly like locked up in this like prison where Templar Knight people who run the machine are basically trying to find out where the Apple of Eden is located. That's like the whole premise of the movie.
okay, spoilers.
It's not even a spoiler.
Spoilers.
But it's like they have all of these.
Spoilers, shut up!
They have all these other people.
Shh, we're gonna mute you.
There's no spoilers.
I'm really glad you guys didn't see Batman Superman.
I did.
So am I.
saw it.
I don't want to see it again.
I'm glad you guys didn't watch that because it would have been a 20-minute episode.
Your mom's my mom.
Watch it. Even if we did watch it, I'd badmouth it, and Saul would bitch at me for badmouthing it.
No, I wouldn't. You would probably be like, "Oh, it's the greatest movie ever." I believe this. Oh my god!
Oh, she,
The best part about that movie is the Wonder Woman theme song at the end. When she comes in. Well, the Wonder Woman theme song is so badass.
the best part of the movie is when Wonder Woman shows up and it's just badass.
She kicks ass in that movie. I'm super excited for her. I
Right?
really.
Like, I had goosebumps. I'm like, oh my god, it's good now.
I'm gonna bring Piper to see that.
So terrible.
Yeah, no, it's not a good movie.
So bad.
Speaking of DC Universe movies a little bit here, I'm kind of excited to see how The Flash is going to turn out and how Aquaman is. I don't give a shit about Cyborg because it just looks bad.
He looks weird.
It looks like they tried to do a little bit of the Teen Titans Cyborg, but
Yeah, he looks kind of boring.
Apparently, I know a lot of people are complaining about the Flash's outfit. Apparently, that's not the outfit that he'll have, like at the end of the day. Like that's an early prototype or something. Is the pictures we've seen? It's very shiny and stuff. People didn't like it. Whatever.
After what I've seen with the DC universe, I have no interest in seeing anything else they do.
I want them to do well. They should just give it to Marvel and let Marvel make the movies.
The Marvels.
we need to give it to Disney to make movies.
Yeah, give it to Disney and let Disney do
This,
it.
this is what we got.
I
Do what you can.
I agree.
I mean, that's what they're doing with Spider-Man. Fox, it was the Fox or Sony, and they're like, "Here, Marvel, just please make the movie."
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, shit. I watched the fucking Civil War and actually Avengers, the second Avengers 2, whatever it was.
with the red dude.
Vision.
Yeah.
With Vision, yeah.
And they were fucking great. They were awesome. And I will say, I did kind of point out. See, there she goes again.
Oh my god.
Avengers 2 was a little.
I picked that movie and you actually aren't complaining about it.
It wasn't as great as the first one,
Thank you.
but it was still there.
They're all good. They're all good.
The thing with the Avengers 2, and this is the only thing I said, it felt some of the bantering in the movie felt forced. It
Well,
really-
what was it? That was when what's his name dropped? Whedon, Josh Whedon or whatever.
Oh,
He like dropped. I think he finished the movie or he stopped halfway doing it because they were forcing more comicalness on it than what like.
he was comfortable with.
Yeah, well, he had a whole different script written for it, and
I remember hearing something about that. Yeah, because the thing that made the first Avengers great was the banter between the characters really brought like the characters out and really made it feel
Real.
real. Yeah, thanks.
whereas
man.
number 2 it was forced and it was just like they tried comical humor with
Some of the stuff just didn't fit. It really didn't fit. Some of the stuff was great, like the whole bit where they're trying to lift the hammer.
That was a really fun scene. Yeah.
You know, the
And
fact
and
that-
Captain America like budges a little bit. Yeah. Because he's almost there. Like he's almost good enough.
It's sad, and just the look that Thor gives is priceless. Just that.
like raising an eyebrow.
Well,
Yeah.
when people were really hoping in that scene that
He could lift it.
what's his name? Stanley like would be a janitor, picks it up and like cleans up of it, and then puts it down and walks away like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
It was. Don't get me wrong. It was still a fantastic movie. It really, really was. It was.
It
just,
was.
Some of the banter between the characters just didn't feel natural. It felt like it was really forced.
Okay.
But I still loved it. You're quiet again, Saul.
She's getting pissed. She's gonna
She got
throw it.
something to say.
I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
She's gonna throw it across the room.
Oh,
Just being sneaky.
So I can quickly.
Oh, by the way, what I learned about the character, what's her name, Scarlet Witch, she apparently is the Olsen twins' sister.
Oh my God, you're late.
You're so
Wait on.
I did not know that.
I can
Yes,
see that. I can see the. Let you say that. I can see the.
She looks a little bit like them.
Did no one read the fucking credits?
Well, I didn't. I mean, the last name Olsen. There's plenty of people with last name Olsen.
About the second one, the Civil War.
Yes.
The Civil War was fucking awesome.
I enjoyed Civil War. I wasn't that really. I didn't really care for Winter Soldier. People love Winter Soldier. I
Oh
watched.
my god, dude! How could you not like Winter Soldier?
It's probably one of the better
I
ones.
gotta run away and hide.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, Winter Soldier is one of the best.
No, I love.
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it wasn't my cup of tea. Like I just
Kick him. Get rid of him.
I loved Spider-Man in that movie.
saw you.
Dude,
Okay, it looks like you like punched the wall or something.
She went and got the liquor out of the fridge.
Oh shit! There's one bottle gone.
Spider-Man was really good
You
in.
better save some of that banana for me.
Talking about which Spider-Man? The new one? Oh
Yeah, the
wow.
new Spider-Man. Yeah, the kid.
Under
Dude, dude, the Spider-Man was fucking awesome. The Spider-Man was fucking awesome. But I have to admit, Bo, you talked about that originally. Dude, they couldn't have done a better job. I mean, they really.
Black Panther
Yeah.
was also really well done too.
Yeah, he was. He very, very well was. Yeah.
Dude, that movie just had like cameos left and right, and it's just like, oh my god.
See, and again, they did it, but they did it perfect. They didn't nobody really got stupid dumb, and they added them just long enough to make it great. And after watching it, I had to go watch Ant-Man, and Ant-Man was fucking awesome.
I haven't seen that
So,
yet.
dude, go see that. That's awesome.
Okay. I'll pay the $2 on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, definitely. Or do what I did. Get the Amazon free 7-day trial for
Amazon what?
Mars, and then cancel it immediately, and you can watch them all.
Amazon what?
Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
you can. If you have Amazon Prime, you can go into your. You can get a free like 7-day trial for Stars,
Oh, okay.
and then you can pretty much watch like all the Marvels because all the Marvels are on.
That's
there.
right, because they have a deal. Yeah.
So, but that movie, dude, Spider-Man was fucking awesome.
Yeah. And Marissa Tomei is his mom. Or
Which
aunt is his
I'm
aunt.
excited to see the actual Spider-Man movie. I know a lot of
That's
people
not his
don't know.
Huh?
Yeah, she's playing Aunt May, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
The fuck is up with this?
I'm excited to see how the
The
standalone.
best looking Aunt May they've ever had.
But that was but see yet again we're talking about the difference between Avengers 2 and
That's because Aunt May is like 85.
But Spider-Man is like 2 years old in this movie now.
Oh, yeah, it is like sperm.
Technically, he's in high school.
Yeah, I know. He's the first guy that actually looks like he's in high school.
you've seen it though, Torn, right?
Which
Civil
one?
War?
Civil
Avengers
War.
and Civil War, right?
Yeah, I have.
Well, see, it's like that's the thing. That see the difference between the Avengers and some, like I said, some of the forced dialogue that just kind of felt forced, and Civil War, which everything about that movie was just really, really well done. All the dialogue in that movie was
Your
fantastic.
camera blurred out.
It looks fine.
Who gives a shit?
It looks fine.
Oh, it looks better
Who gives a
now.
fuck about my ugly mug? But it's like the bit with that was everybody who saw that scene thought that what the fuck is a hot Aunt May doing? I mean, it just doesn't fit, like, you think Aunt May, you think little old gray-haired lady with the cookies, and this is a different type of cookie Aunt May brings.
Peter? Is that you, Peter?
So I was disgusted by you.
But the best thing about that was the whole bit because the movie acknowledges it. Because the first thing Stark does when he goes into the room with Peter Parker's basically point out the fact your aunt looks really, really good. And they
You
kind
got
of
a hot aunt.
and pokes fun at that fact, and that's the kind of shit that makes the movie great because everybody thought that. It's like, what the fuck is? Why
It
is
used to be Aunt May's sweet and she made cookies. Now it's Aunt May's hot and she can cook cookies.
Yeah, it's your wife's working again.
Yeah.
Say hi.
All right.
But it's just that, like I said, that was the thing that made the movie great, and the banter and the constant going back and forth. Everything about that movie was great. Only thing that I didn't like about it was Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man is turning into a whiny little bitch. But
That's sort of the point.
Hey
Yeah.
man,
That was sort of the whole
sometimes you
idea.
got to be on the right side of morality.
Oh, which is the right side.
Well, the whole point was that and in the comic version of that, he was even more of a dick about it because he had no reason to be doing it, more or less. But at least he has a reason in this because of the whole fuck up in the last Avengers movie,
I'm sorry.
or last Iron Man movie. What
So Civil War had some of the, I think, greatest
was it?
fights.
Avengers where he fucked up?
without a
with,
doubt.
with Bucky and the Captain versus Iron Man, and they're just trading blows and throwing the shield back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
The whole fucking airport scene was epic. It was just, it was great the way they did that. And like I said, yet again, the banter between the characters is fantastic. Like the bit with
You bro.
Hawkeye and God, what's her name? Scarlett Johansson's character.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. The
So,
fight between them when they're fighting and they're arguing over, if I still hit you, are you going to be my friend? And they're just, And then
Depends
Scarlet,
on how hard you hit me.
yeah, then Scarlet Witch comes over and basically throws Scarlett Johansson's character into a fucking baggage cart and yells at Hawkeye for going easy on her. It's just they did a great job with like the way the characters go and everything. It was a really, really well done movie.
I'm curious.
I love the whole banter with anything with Spider-Man and with when he's going around Ant-Man's legs and he makes the Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
And then when he's fighting
He talks about how old he is or something, right?
The guy with the wings. I can't remember his character's name. Saul, can you help me out here?
What? Falcon?
Falcon, yeah.
When he's fighting Falcon, and Falcon's like, "You do know we're in a fight, and you don't really talk that much." You're not
Yeah,
supposed to talk."
carbon fiber wings, because that would explain how they have the better tension and they can do all this stuff. But he's like, yeah, you talk too much, kid.
You know we're fighting, right? Oh yeah, right. Okay.
But still, one of the best things about that, and like I said, I'm not a comic book nerd. Saul would probably be able to do better than that. I like the
A little
fact,
underhanded diss.
No, it wasn't. No, it's not a diss. It's just I don't. But
She is our source. Wait,
she can correct me on it. But it's like the thing that makes me. I like the fact that the Spider-Man was done so well because you can see how they're showing he's one of the strongest characters because of what he does and some of the shit he does.
How easily he did it too.
Yeah, he doesn't know and he's doing it. It's like he's just doing it without no thought.
Yeah, that's my one question is I wonder what they're going to do with Scarlet Witch because she really is the strongest one that they have. She just hasn't come into it yet. I'm curious to see how that evolves throughout the Infinity Wars.
Actually,
And
Vision's probably the strongest.
she fucked up Vision. Did she not?
Vision did not want to fight her though.
Still, she shoved his ass through the ground. like she could kick his ass. And Vision's gonna die. He's gonna die in Infinity Wars. That's not even a spoiler because he has an Infinity Stone in his head. He's dead.
But if you remember, also she's like, we only got like 10 minutes before he comes back.
Yeah.
Saul, come on, Saul, you're the comic. Come on, we need to have your voice here. What is it?
So
But Vision didn't have the stone in his head in the comic Infinity Wars, so I think he's dead. I think he's gone. They're gonna rip it out of his head.
Well,
they're gonna rip the stone out of his head, and he's gone.
Not necessarily.
Potentially.
Not necessarily, because it's one of those things where you don't. They make he makes a comment during, I think during the Civil War where he talked. Yeah, he does during the Civil War because he basically is talking to Scarlet Witch about the fact he's got the Infinity Stone in his forehead. And she's like, she points out the fact that he's got this thing in him. He's like, does the stone control you or do you control the stone?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the more I learn about the stone, the more I can control it. So the thing is that you don't. I think they're.
It's still the source of his power, though.
It is. But
It's probably like a learning thing. Like you have information in a book, but the more you read the book, the more you gain that information to the point you don't need.
And the less you read the book, exactly. So it could be the aspect that even the stone,
Maybe
analogies.
I think he's dead. And I think Scarlet Witch is gonna be super powerful.
He's definitely fucking dead.
And maybe at the end she'll disappear or something and go, into hiatus because she'll be too powerful to have in the movies. She'll be way too powerful to have in the movies. She could just wipe anybody off the face of the planet.
What are you doing?
She's gonna kill someone. It's gonna be Shadow.
All right, let's play this game.
All right, so we're going to the game now.
Let's take a short break. We'll figure out Saul's mic problems.
Breathe in, breathe out.
And what's the name of the game?
Something with a V.
Saul's freaking out. What's the name of the game? Viscera?
Viscera? Something.
All right, so we'll be back in 5 minutes after we figure out our technical difficulties. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check us out on all the info on the outro screen.
Have a happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. We'll see you next year.
We might stream maybe.